Okay. Hare Krishna. So I think I'm audible and we are able to see the screen. So we are starting with Sri Upanishad. So, and we'll start with the introduction, which is a transcription of the lecture given by Prabhupada at the Conway Hall lecture. Yeah, this is a lecture which, when initially the three couples went to London, so they preached and they got many people, and they wanted to means they are not so much conversant with philosophy, so they asked Prabhupada. So Prabhupada recorded this and sent to them. So the below is a transcription of it. The main themes of this lecture is in the introduction is Prabhupada talks about Pratyaksh Praman and then Anuman Praman and their defects and the four defects. And then Prabhupada talks about the superiority of Shabda Praman, which is the Vedas. And then Prabhupada also talks about deductive and inductive approach, Aroha and Avaroha Pantha. Then Prabhupada talks about the Veda as a means to understand God, Krishna, and how Krishna is the Supreme Lord. Then at last, Prabhupada talks about position of Srimad Bhagavatam in the Vedic literature. So we will see how many themes we can cover today. Because
Prabhuji, your voice is coming low.
no, okay, I'll try to say the meaning.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Now it's better.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Can someone raise hand? Someone can read this. Yes, Mataji. Muskan Mataji can start reading this.
Teachings of the Vedas. Probably I am audible.
Yes, Mataji.
Teachings of the Vedas, delivered as a lecture by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada on October 6, 1969, at Conway Hall, London, England. Ladies and gentlemen, today's subject matter is the teaching of the Vedas. What are the Vedas? The Sanskrit verbal root of Ved can be interpreted variously, but the purport is finally one. Ved means knowledge. Any knowledge you accept is Ved. For the teachings of the Vedas are the original knowledge. In the conditioned state, our knowledge is subject to many deficiencies. The difference between a conditioned soul and a liberated soul is that the conditioned soul has four kinds of defects. The first defect is that he must commit mistakes. For example, in our country, Mahatma Gandhi was considered to be a very great personality, but he committed many mistakes. Even at the last stage of his life, his assistant warned Mahatma Gandhi, don't go to the New Delhi meeting. I have some friends and I have heard there is danger. But he did not hear. He persisted in going and was killed. Even great personalities like Mahatma Gandhi, President Kennedy, there are so many of them make mistakes. To err is human. This is one defect of the conditioned soul. Another defect to be illusion. Illusion means to accept something which is not. Maya. Maya means what is not. Everyone is accepting the body as the self. If I ask you what you are, you will say, I am Mr. John. I am a rich man. I'm this, I'm that. All these are bodily identifications. But you are not this body. This is illusion. The third defect is the cheating propensity. Everyone has the propensity to cheat others. Although a person is fool number one, he poses himself as very intelligent. Although it is already pointed out that he is an illusion and make mistake, he will theorize. I think this is this. But he does not even know his own position. He writes book of philosophy, although he is defective. This is his disease. This is cheating. Lastly, our senses are imperfect. We are very proud of our eyes. Often someone will challenge, can you show me God? But do you have the eyes to see God? You will never see if you haven't the eyes. If immediately the room became dark, you cannot even see your hands. So what power do you have to see? We cannot therefore expect knowledge with these imperfect senses. With all these deficiencies in conditioned life, we cannot give perfect knowledge to anyone, nor are we ourselves perfect. Therefore, we accept the Vedas as they are.
Okay, thank you, Mata. So, Prabhupada initially explained the definition of Veda. Veda means knowledge, the word Veda. So then Prabhupada explained the 4 defects of the conditioned soul. So we'll study the 4 defects in a conceptual way, the concept behind the 4 defects. So there are 2 pramanas, Pratyaksha Praman. Pratyaksha Praman basically means sense perception, means we are using our 5 senses, no? Either ears, eyes, or nose, or tongue, or the skin, touch. So we use these senses to understand the things around us. In this, there are 2 steps. The first is, first we acquire the information. Means with eyes, we see something. And then we try to understand what it is. So initially, let's say we see a mango. So initially the image comes to the eye. Then we recollect from our memory an object which looks like this. It is a mango. So then we understand, okay, so this is a mango. That is how our perception works. So there can be defects in both the things. So Prabhupada spoke about in the last paragraph, Prabhupada spoke about imperfect senses. So that happens in acquiring information. So our human eyes cannot see in darkness. If there is no light, then cannot see in darkness. And ear only has an audible range from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So both ultrasonic and infrasonic things ear cannot understand. So there is an example in 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, where there is a prince named Krishadra, who is son of the Manu, Shraddhadev. So his guru tells him to take care of cows in the cow shed. And it happens to be, so he is guarding the cow shed, and it was dark night, and clouds have covered the sky, so there are no stars visible. And it also rains. Then suddenly a tiger enters the cow shed, and then all the cows get scared and they go here and there. Then the tiger approaches a cow and is about to attack the cow, kill the cow. So then he understands, then the cow initially cries, means shouts. So then he goes into the direction and he attacks. But by mistake, instead of killing the tiger, he kills the cow. And the tiger also gets hurt and it runs away. So he did this mistake because it is dark night and he's not able to see. That's why he did this mistake. So this is an example of imperfect senses. Next, there is imperfect senses also in Sanskrit. It is called as karna patava. And then the second is illusion. Illusion is Brahma. So we get the information correctly, but because the information is complex, we are not able to understand it. So if you see there is refraction, if you keep a pencil in water, in a glass, in a transparent glass filled with water, then the pencil bends. So then we cannot understand whether the pencil has become something else. If we ask at least a small child or something, they may think the pencil has transformed into something or something like that. So this is illusion. And yeah, if most of you must have attended the device course, so in the second device, so there we show different pictures where if you see from one angle it may appear in a different way, and in another angle it may appear in a different way. So this is illusion. So the example is Brahma Vimohan Lila, where Lord Brahma wants to test Krishna whether he is God or not. So then what Brahma does, he kidnaps the calves as well as the gopas, the friends of Krishna, and he kidnaps them and keeps them with him uh, in a sleep, in an unconscious state. And then he comes after an year, and then he sees that the same gopas and calves are there with Krishna in the Vrindavan also. And he sees, he keeps them with him, so he sees them, they are also there. So he then gets bewildered, which are actual, which are not real, or is it some magic? And he gets bewildered. So this is also another example of illusion. So then another is mistakes. So the information also is not complex, it is simple only, but we understand it wrongly because of lack of memory or not proper intelligence. So we may see somebody, but we may forget their name. So there, the person in the object is simple only, but because our memory is not proper, we could not recollect their name, or we may recollect it wrongly. So that is an example of mistake. So then comes cheating. Cheating means we understand the information, but we have wrong intention. So that's why get we we tell false information. So people, they lie in the court as a witness, and all. So that is example. Yes, yeah. Okay, then Anuman Praman. So Anuman Praman is we logically try to guess something. So it works in this way, in this format. So we know the principle that whenever there is smoke, it indicates the presence of fire. That is in general thing. So if we see there is a smoke on the mountain, so it is natural to conclude that there is also fire on mountain. Yeah. So, but it can also be possible that fire might have got exhausted, but still smoke may be there. That is also possibility there. So this is the defect of Anuman Praman. Means this is the imperfection in Anuman Praman. Like we also see after Yajna is over, the fire may go away fast, but still the smoke will be still going on. So this is an example to illustrate the imperfection in Anuman Praman. Okay. We also know the example in Ramayana that Dashrath Maharaj, he is on a hunting excursion, and he hears the sound of someone collecting water from the pond nearby, and he has this skill called Shabdaberi. So he if he understands the direction of a sound, then he can attack the person who is producing the sound. So he concludes that some elephant may be taking water. So he guesses in that way and he shoots. But actually the person, it is not elephant, but it is a young boy named Shravan Kumar, and then that's why his parents curse Dashrath Maharaj, etc. So these are the four defects, and this is what Pratyaksha Praman and Anuman Praman. I hope you understand. So now Prabhupada also, he told about the mistake give examples of Mahatma Gandhi and Kennedy making mistakes, though it is a recorded fact that they got intelligence report that there may be threat to their life, but they uh, ignored those threats, and that's why they got killed. Then Prabhupada gives illusion example as people mistaking themselves as body, because people only, yeah, if you ask, means if one logically thinks also, one can understand that there's something beyond the body, but if while dreaming and all, we are not conscious of the body, but we still exist, so we are something beyond the body. But yes, okay, so we know this incident in Mahabharata of Duryodhan entering the hall created by Mayadhama. So the first instance, he thinks that there is a pond, there are multiple ponds in the hall. So he thinks that it's an actually a covered pond, and he thinks no, he think it is he thinks it to be an open pond. So he wanted to put his leg into that, but then he cannot put. So this is what this comes on what Brahman, and what is the mistake? Can anyone say? Okay. Yes,
Is it
yes,
Pratyaksha Praman?
yeah, this is Pratyaksha Praman. So, and what is the defect?
Imperfect senses
Uh,
or
Not
illusion?
imperfect, because he's able to see it clearly. It
Illusion?
is, yeah, it is illusion. It is
Illusion
illusion.
by
Yeah, okay. Now, second instance, he goes to the next pond, and he thinks that all ponds in this hall are covered, and he he what happens, he just keeps the leg on the cover, but it is actually an open pond, and he falls. So this is what Praman, second instance.
Anuman Praman.
Yeah, okay,
and
yes, correct. So the second one is Anuman Praman, because his assumption is false. Okay, I think you understood. These are spoken in a device and all, so this is just a revision. Now, yeah, we will go. Now, Prabhupada is going to describe about the Vedas. Initially, this comparison between Pratyaksha, Anuman, Shabda Praman, Prabhupada will discuss in little later. Initially, Prabhupada explains different aspects of Vedas. Okay. Now, can someone else read? Okay, yes, Raj
Prabhu.
Prabhu, you can read. Yes, Raj Prabhu, you can read.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, you can read from this. You may call the
Okay. Yes, please. You may call the Vedas Hindu, but Hindu is a foreign name. We are not Hindus. Our real identification is Varnashrama. Varnashrama denotes the follower of the Vedas, those who accept the human society in 8 divisions of Varna and Ashrama. There are 4 divisions of society and 4 divisions of spiritual life. This is called Varnashrama. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.13. These divisions are everywhere because they are created by God. The division of society are Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahman refers to the very intelligent class of men, those who know what is Brahman. Similarly, the Kshatriya, the administrator group, are the next intelligent class of men. Then the Vaishyas, the mercantile group. These, these natural classification are found everywhere.
Okay, just a minute. So, Prabhupada is explaining all this to make the point that Vedas are relevant for all. So he's saying that Varnashrama classification we can see everywhere. So if we take a factory, there are people, there are engineers who work in R&D, then there are managers who manage the factory, and then there are sales department who sells the product to customers, and then there are workers who operate the machines and manufacture the product. So that way, so Prabhupada is making the point that Vedas are relevant for everyone and everywhere. Okay, you can continue.
This is the Vedic principle, and we accept it. Vedic principles are accepted as axiomatic truth, for there cannot be any mistake. That is acceptance. For instance, in India, cow dung is accepted as pure, and yet cow dung is the stool of the animal. In one place, you find the Vedic in injection that if you touch stool, you have to take a bath immediately. But in another place, it is said that the stool of cow is pure. If you smear cow dung in an impure place, that place become pure. With our ordinary sense, we can argue this is contradictory. Actually, it is contradictory from the ordinary point of view, but it is not false. It is fact. In Calcutta, a very prominent scientist, doctor, analyzed cow dung uh,
Hmm. Yeah,
and found that it contains all antiseptic properties.
Okay.
Some more
No, yeah, this is my notes. Uh, now is my voice audible, no?
yes, Freddy.
Okay. So some more aspects, like now Prabhupada is saying that how though Vedas may not always explain everything, but if we accept the Vedas, then we'll be benefited. So now if you see Vedas also prescribe about early rising, or at least when we come to Krishna conscious, devotees may inspire us to rise early and all. Initially, we may not understand its benefit, and we may think, that this is an imposition or this is like a superstition and all. Then, as we practice and we also understand that morning is a time of goodness, then we can slowly make sense of it. Then also the rituals. Initially, we see deity worship. It may appear like a superstition and all, or it may appear like a sentiment and all. Then when we understand the session, like why we do what we do, so then we understand each item we offer to the deities. They represent different elements of the earth, fire, water, like this, and they have other significations. And as we ourselves, let's say, start doing deity worship and all, then we can understand, that we get the feeling that of serving the Lord, etc. So that, and then also like Vastu, astrology, that also we may think initially superstition. Then as we understand, if we learn the science, that how systematic it is, and then as we also try to see things through astrology, and then we ourselves also can understand them. So the more we study Vedas proper, deeply, and practice it, then we can understand these things. Initially, they may appear like some impositions or superstitions, but that they will understand it over time. And also, we can also experiment and all. Now, also like on chanting, there are devotees and all who are trained psychologists and all, or neurologists. So they experiment what are the effects of chanting on my brain and all. And that way also some things can be verified. Okay. Okay, Pro, so you can read this in India if one person tells.
Yes. In India, if one person tells another, you must do this, the another party may say, what do you mean? In this a Vedic injunction that I have to follow you without any argument? Vedic injunctions cannot be interrupted. But ultimately, if you carefully study why these injunctions are there, you will find that they are all correct.
Yeah, okay,
This
so just a minute. So yeah, means Prabhupada has written in this statement in 1969. So that time, definitely there is a large amount of population in India, both in urban and rural places. They're very much devotional, pious, and they have that faith in the Vedas. But now Means now it's after almost 60 years are over. So now, at least in urban India, now people are more rational and they need a more rational presentation. This they may see it as a superstition or a fanaticism. But definitely now also in rural India, people have that faith. Many of them have that faith in Vedas, and directly if you quote also something from Shastra, they may accept. But especially the youth and the educated class, they may need some rational presentation. We will discuss that also. Okay, Prabhu, we can read this. Continue. The Vedas are not.
The Vedas are not com, uh, compilation of human knowledge. Vedic knowledge comes from the spiritual word from Lord Krishna. Another name of Vedas is Shruti. Shruti refers to that knowledge which is acquired by hearing. It is not experimental knowledge. Shruti is considered to be like a mother. We take so much knowledge from our mother. For example, if you want to know who is your father is, who can answer you? Your mother. If the mother says, here is your father, you have to accept it. It is not possible to experiment to find out whether he is your father. Similarly, if you want to know something beyond your experience, beyond your experimental knowledge, beyond the activities of the senses, then you have to accept the Vedas. There is no question of experimenting, it has already been experimented. It is already settled. The version of the mother, for instance, has to be accepted as truth. There is no other way. The Vedas are considered.
Yes, continue.
The Vedas are considered to be the mother, and Brahma is called grandfather, the forefather, because he was the first to be instructed in the Vedic knowledge. In the beginning, the first living creature was Brahma. He received this knowledge and imparted it to Narad and other disciples and sons, and they also distribute it to their disciple. In this way, the Vedic knowledge comes down by disciplined succession. It is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita that Vedic knowledge is understood in this way. If you make experimental endeavor, you may come to the same conclusion, but just to save time, you should accept. If you want to know who is your father is, who your father is, and if you accept your mother as the authority, then whatever she says can be accepted without argument.
Okay. So here main Prabhupada is saying the main point Prabhupada wants to make is that it saves time. The Vedas, already the knowledge, the perfect knowledge is given. We need not endeavor from our side to find again knowledge on our own. If we accept it, it will definitely save our time. Prabhupada is giving the example of parents. So generally the child will be first connected majorly to the mother, and then the mother introduces him to the father. So now the child doesn't have that intelligence, nor ability, nor time, nor something to experiment and find out who's his father. And we do this in our normal life also. We accept science and technology, and we use it. We don't try to, if we purchase a new phone, we don't try to figure out how this phone is working, how it is designed and all. We accept it. So that is, so in normal life also we do it. So we can also have that same approach towards Vedas. Okay, Prabhu, we can read this paragraph.
We do this in normal life also.
No,
we
yeah,
accept...
there are three kinds of evidence.
Okay. There are three kinds of evidence: Pratyaksha, Anuman, and Shabda. Pratyaksha means direct evidence. Direct evidence is not very good because our senses are not perfect. We are seeing the sun daily and it appears to just like a small disk, but it is actually far, far long than many planets. Of what value is this seeing? Therefore, we have to read books, then we can understand about the sun. So direct experience is not perfect. Then there is a Anuman, inductive knowledge. It may be like this hypothesis. For instance, Darwin's theory says it may be like this, it may be like that, but that is not science. That is a suggestion. and it is also not perfect, but if you receive the knowledge from the authoritative source, that is perfect. If you receive a program guide from radio station authority, you accept it, you don't deny it. You don't have to make an experiment because it is received from authoritative sources.
Okay, so yeah, now Prabhupada is saying about the three pramanas, Pratyaksha, Anuman, and Shabda. So we have studied just before Pratyaksha and Anuman, and Prabhupada also showed how Anuman is defective. Another example of Anuman Praman is like no that how means even this recent means this we had this pandemic and they manufactured the vaccines, so that is also more like an inductive approach. They follow a particular procedure and try to manufacture vaccine, then they test on several cases and several times in several ways. So and then they assume okay the vaccine is good, it is not giving side effects, and then they release it to the public. So it worked, means the vaccine has worked, but still it has some side effects, and now it has come into picture. So inductive approach sometimes you may have to take, but it may have some defects. So there is a so Prabhupada told about the deductive approach and inductive approach. So deductive approach is first accept, then you can observe and inquire further. Like initially you accept the Vedic statements, like how, let's say it is Krishna is God. Then Krishna is God, then you observe, means you practice Krishna consciousness, and you see how the devotees of Krishna are, and then you can inquire also how Krishna is God, what makes him God. Like that, you can always do. Inductive approach means it's a repeated experimentation, and then you conclude. Like the gravitational law, you may experiment many times, and then you can see, okay, this is the law, this is how it works. So that is the inductive approach. Deductive approach, it saves time because you are accepting it, and inductive approach because it consumes a lot of time because you yourself have to experiment. And deductive approach is perfect because you are getting it from an authentic source. And inductive approach can become imperfect. It's not always imperfect. Yeah, in some way it is, there will be slight imperfection. The imperfection may vary, but because we are relying on Pratyaksha and Anuman Praman. So there will be some sort of imperfection. Sometimes we may find out, we may admit, or we may discover the level of imperfection. Sometimes we may not do that. In one sense, the software business is all about that. So the bugs keep on coming, and so that is inductive approach. Then, yeah, example of deductive approach is Vedas, and inductive approach is modern science and technology generally. Deductive approach is best for things, especially when things which are beyond science, especially spirituality, psychology, and all. These things are beyond the limitations of science. Especially for them, deductive approach is best. Sometimes we may have to use a inductive approach. We means we may not directly use, but we may consume the products that are manufactured based on inductive approach, etc. So, this corona vaccine or the cures for different medicines are tested in that way only. They test on but initially on rats, or so then that is how the things are tested, and we are using them. So inductive approach has its value, but when it comes to especially understanding about God, things that are beyond science, the life and the purpose and origin of life, the purpose and origin of this world, like these questions, we cannot have an inductive approach. That is what Prabhupada also is going to explain. Okay. And yeah, okay, here I have something. So in these above 4 paragraphs, Prabhupada emphasized on these things. So Vedas are perfect pramana because it does not have any defects. It is coming from God. Then Vedas are relevant for everyone everywhere. Prabhupada explained through the Varnashrama example that how the Varnashrama system we can see everywhere. There are 4 classes of people we can see in all societies, not just in India. So on that basis, Prabhupada made this point where Vedas are relevant for everyone everywhere. Even it's not Ayurveda medicines only work in India. Now Ayurvedic medicines we see, now even Westerners are using. And Vedas are time tested. So we need means we can put faith, and we need not check them or no. We need not do experiments and check them and well. And accepting Vedic knowledge saves time because again we need not experiment those things. Okay, so till now we studied about Pratyaksha Praman, Anuman Praman, and Shabda Praman and Vedas. Are there any questions?
So with this information which we have shared with us,
Hmm.
Hare Krishna,
Yes, please.
we have been shared this information by our first Siksha Guru long back in the beginning of that our counseling meeting with them, like when we used to visit them for Bhagavad Gita class.
Yes, yeah. So Prabhupada means this is an introduction, so this is there. So means Prabhupada has spoken, so we are just discussing it again. So it's a reminder.
Yes, Prabhu. Like I just wanted to tell that it has been already taught long back, in maybe some 7, 8 years, 9 years back.
Yes, it is back, but you can all. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Any question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Raj Prabhu, you can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I have one question.
Hmm.
Because all Vedic knowledge is in Sanskrit.
Hmm.
Sometime it may be chances so in Ayurveda or in other fields which is we are using in practical way. Sometime the name of the particular thing is different what we call in nowadays. So that's why we have to maybe I think in this case we have to do some inductive approach. So is it right?
You're saying name, huh? Name will be different.
Yeah, because in the Sanskrit we call sometime in Mercury, Sanskrit we call it Parad. So if somebody doesn't know what there is some medicine which is made by the Parad in Ayurveda. So if somebody doesn't know, it's in modern time we called it Mercury. So there is some inductive approach. He has to understand the
See,
Sanskrit.
yeah, one thing is language usage may not change. One thing is Vedic Sanskrit is little different than the spoken Sanskrit, but it does not generally. We assume that the Sanskrit does not evolve over time. Sometimes we may lack misunderstanding, but another thing is the Vedic knowledge. It's not the whole knowledge is written in the Vedas. Means it cannot be written also. So some knowledge also comes in the oral traditions. But if you see Ayurveda and all, that oral traditions, because of colonization of British and Muslim invasions, that oral traditions actually got broken. Though now also we have the same scriptures, but those oral traditions have broken. So we may not exactly know how to apply some things which are written in Vedas. So sometimes, yes, we can take the knowledge from Vedas, and sometimes, in some cases, we may have to have an inductive approach and test how the knowledge has to be exactly understood and then apply. And because the times also have changed, now now because of modernization and all, now exactly we cannot replicate the details also. So that's why some inductive approach also may be needed, but not with related to spiritual matters, but some things which are related to the worldly matters, which are described in Vedas like Ayurveda, etc. Okay, so now Vaikuntha Vihari Prabhu. Bro, you have some question? Vaikuntha Vihari Prabhu.
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, take it.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Shrikant Prabhu, you have question?
Yes, Prabhuji. We
Yes.
mentioned the deductive approach is
Hmm.
best because
Yes.
it will save a lot of time.
Yeah.
But one thing, because we are saying that we first accept and then
Hmm.
we observe, but there
Hmm.
might be some friction to accept anything that is new as it is compared to if we do some experiment and get the result and accept it. And
Yes.
also,
Yes.
we mentioned that the Vedas is fully in Sanskrit.
Hmm.
We ourselves may not understand it, so we always have to.
Yeah.
It may be interpreted correctly or wrongly, right? So I think the important point here,
Uh,
I mean, that's what I feel is the fear of deductive knowledge in accepting as it is.
yes. That's why now Prabhupada is going to clarify the exact context why he is making this background. Because especially we are making this background for spiritual subject matters, spiritual and not transcendental subject matters. Definitely, yeah, like if you want to learn, yeah, definitely, they are not all translations of the Vedas in English and Hindi or no reliable. So that is there. Uh, so we have to definitely, that's why that Prabhupada is now going to also make the point of we have to learn from a guru also. So that things are there. Okay. Yes, Shaz Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
After this, sometime we in the Vedas people are doing some imperfect translation or maybe their own translation.
Hmm.
So if there is some new person who doesn't know anything, so
Hmm.
it may be chances he may be taking from the right process deductive knowledge, but he can be illusioned by the cheaters and something like that.
Yeah. So the chance is always there. So one thing is Vedic knowledge. So that's what it depends on. One thing is depends upon the attitude. So depends upon his attitude of what he wants to learn from Vedas. Accordingly, he will also be guided accordingly. So that's why we are now going to discuss about how not just the Vedas, not we need a proper guide to learn the Vedas. So that is there. And Vedas themselves also contain from where it has to be learned, who should be guru and all. So that is there. One thing is it depends upon our attitude. That's what Vedas are not like no science textbooks or something. It depends upon our attitude, and accordingly the karma or prakriti will reciprocate and direct us to a particular guru. If somebody, that's what Prabhupada speaks about cheaters and cheated. If somebody wants to be cheated, they will be directed to the cheaters. That is there. But from our side, when we are presenting Vedas, we should educate the students properly and also tell about who is proper guru, and that is from our side. Okay. Okay, now we will proceed. Okay, I'll just read it. This is a small thing. So Vedic knowledge is called Shabda Praman. Another name is Shruti. Shruti means that this knowledge has to be received simply by oral reception. The Vedas instruct that in order to understand transcendental knowledge, we have to hear from the authority. So here Prabhupada is especially highlighting about transcendental knowledge. So yeah, Prabhupada will explain. Transcendental knowledge is knowledge from beyond this universe. Within this universe is material knowledge, and beyond this universe is transcendental knowledge. We cannot even go to the end of the universe. So how can we go to the spiritual world? Thus, to acquire full knowledge is impossible. there is a spiritual sky, there is another nature which is beyond manifestation and non-manifestation. But how will you know that there is a sky where the planets and inhabitants are eternal? All this knowledge is there, but how will you make experiments? It is not possible. Therefore, you have to take the assistance of the Vedas. This is called Vedic knowledge. So the main thing is for understanding truths that are beyond the limitations of science, which are like the origin and purpose of life and the origin and purpose of this universe. So these are some things which are beyond the limitations of science, our senses, and our intelligence. Means both Pratyaksha and Anuman Praman. So for that, definitely Vedas are the sole authority. Now you have some medical problem, you have option of going for allopathy, Ayurveda, and all. So there, Prabhupada is not prohibiting that you should avoid allopathy and you should only accept Ayurveda. So that is not the point. The main point is about the transcendental subject matters. Yeah. So now, means science also, many scientists acknowledge the limitations of science. If you see some research thesis and all, there will be always, you have to tell about your limitations of your research. And if you see the theories of evolution, like the Darwin's theory, or the current the genetic evolution theory, and the creation of universe, there is Big Bang theory, steady state theory, like that. There are different theories. They have their errors. The Big Bang theory, and they assume the existence of dark matter, dark energy, like these things, and they are changing also on time. Means over time they are changing also, and they contain many assumptions. And now you cannot experiment Big Bang theory. You cannot try to more simulate Big Bang and see whether the theory is correct or not. So that way it is beyond the limitations of science. They also talk about particle accelerator and all, but as they are trying to have better particle accelerator, they are actually discovering many more unknown particles. So that way, it is creating more complications. So that way, we see the science has its limitations, especially with these questions. Now, so therefore, Vedas are the ultimate Shabda Praman, and Vedas are the only source to know about our identity, purpose of our existence, and the origin and purpose of the world. Okay. Yeah. You can now take some 5 minutes you can take, and you can think about these questions. And then we will discuss how to enhance our faith in the Vedas, and what challenges we face our faith, what challenges our faith in Vedas, and how to introduce Vedas to newcomers. So you can think about these things, you can have multiple points, and then we'll discuss after 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, so we'll start discussion. So for the first question, yeah, yeah. Lekha Matas, you want to answer?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
So the
first
first
question.
question is how to enhance our faith in Vedas. So the best thing what I have heard is like by associating with those who have
Mm.
faith in Vedas.
Mm.
And the second point is if we try to understand the message
Mm.
of the Vedas from the right sources, and if we try to apply it, then our faith will gradually increase.
Good. Thank you. So one is application and another is learning from the association. Okay. Yeah. Anyone? Any more points?
By
Mm.
increasing our faith in Guru Sadhu Shastra.
Yeah, increasing faith also means the same thing, like applying by application and also, yeah, learning about the right process of how to understand Vedas. That is one thing. And yeah, also experiencing, in one sense, it is there in association, like experiencing the Vedic culture. That also gives faith. Yeah. Okay. Any more? I think, yeah, first point is like association by practicing it, by experiencing others' practice. So that way it helps.
Prabhuji, one
Yeah.
thing is like to do faith in anything. We how we enhance in general our faith in anything, that is by knowing it.
Yeah.
So by knowing Veda through right sources, as Mataji has also explained.
Yes.
So that is the, I think, the only way. Until
Yeah.
unless we don't know about
Mm.
the subject matter, the
Yes.
faith will not be enhanced. So we will have to read the right books,
Yeah.
whatever these guided by Bhakti Vedanta and
Yeah.
Prabhupada,
Yeah.
and then associating and listening lectures, all other
Yes.
things will enhance our faith.
Yes.
And yeah, so I think we are linked to first question right now, correct?
Yes.
Hmm.
So good.
Also, Prabhuji,
Yes.
uh, actually there is one more point which is not directly related, but if somehow by kirtan and prasadam faith increases. Why? Because our heart will get softened, and then it will, our intelligence will be such that we will be eligible to understand the Vedic knowledge. Otherwise we are so materially puffed up that we will not even, we will derive it simply. But by kirtan and prasadam, our faith can increase.
Okay. I mean, here our main focus is on Vedic knowledge. Means knowledge
Yes.
in terms, not exactly devotional service, but yeah, definitely if one becomes more pious, they will also they can also accept Vedas better. So and so that is there. That is good. That is also fine. Okay, so now we'll go to the second question. What challenges our faith in Vedas? Okay, Shrikant Prabhu, you want to answer?
Yeah, I wanted to add a point in the first part was
Okay.
that understanding it from authoritative source. One more thing I feel is that if we apply those things in our life
Yes.
and if we see the changes, that enhances the
Yeah.
faith further.
Correct. Yeah, definitely. No, what we can apply and no means definitely we follow the process of devotional service. But if you see the knowledge of modes in Bhagavad Gita, we can see them know how it is working and know how if we go to goodness, it helps. So that we can understand. And also the peripheral sciences of Vedic, like the Ayurveda and all these things also we can try to apply as much as possible so that the faith, our faith in Vedas increases more. So that will help. Means whenever we face like some challenges and all, if we have this kind of lifestyle, it is more easy to what to say deal with such challenges. Okay, and okay. Oh, okay, now for second question, Chetan Pro, you want to answer?
Prabhuji, for
Yeah.
first thing,
Okay,
devotees are given
yes.
such wonderful answers, Prabhu, specifically about association of devotees, about practices of hearing, chanting,
Yes.
practical examples, right? How they have actually
Yeah.
transformed lives. These are
Yes.
wonderful, Prabhu.
Yes.
One more
Yes.
thing, Prabhu, that enhances
Yeah.
our faith is the very logical explanations that
Yes.
very
Yes. Yeah.
literature gives
Very
for
correct.
what we see around us.
Yeah.
Laws
Yeah.
of karma, reincarnation.
Yeah.
I mean, this gives such. I mean, we have seen cases, right, where
Yes.
people
Yes. Yes.
remember
Yes.
their past lives, and only Vedas have explanation for them. So
Yes.
they give
Yes.
very logical understanding of world around us.
Yes, yes, yes. Very, very correct. Actually, I thought about it, but I forgot. But it's very nice you got it. Yeah, so one is how Vedas are also logical and rational. Because of a scientific, because of the science and the education based on science, there is lot of importance given to something which is rational, which is very systematically explained, and which is very coherent. So if we can by our study of Vedas or by hearing about Vedas, if we can understand and appreciate the rationality and systematic things in Vedas, the especially the law of karma, or there are sciences like astrology and all, how they are so fine-tuned, very systematic and all, then also that will actually increase our faith. And also, as we discussed earlier, there are now some no the Vedic facts are also tested through neurological analysis, empirical analysis, statistical analysis. So that also can help us. Okay, I think we are done with the first. Now the second question: what challenges our faith in Vedas?
Prabhuji, can I answer something?
Yes, yes.
We put more faith in our mind
Okay.
than Krishna. And we look for always logical and intellectual understanding. Like Radhanath Maharaj says, na, faith in Krishna faith in Krishna is beyond the logical reasoning and intellectual representation.
Okay, yeah, means especially with spiritual matters, this can be a challenge. Correct. One thing is, if we put too much faith on science, especially on the fact that science can do everything, or technology can make us happy, or these things, which is in one sense the propaganda of a large percentage on the outside world. So then that can be one major challenge. Yes, Lekha Mataji, you want to answer?
Yes, Prabhuji, the Mayavad philosophy that is propagated in schools and colleges, that the very thing, the Vedic philosophy, they call it as mythology.
Yeah.
Mythology means that something that is myth. And it is said Mayavadi Krishna Paradi, like whatever motivational speakers like youths listen to are simply propagating Mayavad philosophy. Everything is an energy. You can do it. You have control over your future. You have a self-made person.
Okay. Okay. I mean, you cannot generalize it. Definitely, maybe a major portion of the thing, or they may have Advaitic affiliations. Some of the famous motivational speakers, but there are also some who speak based on Bhagavad Gita, or somebody who may speak something similar to Bhagavad Gita. They themselves may not know, but we may correlate and all. So that is there. Definitely, one thing is there are some misconceptions that are planted through the modern education system, especially because of the British and all, about especially the words like mythology and all. So we need to educate ourselves about these misconceptions and how these misconceptions are wrong, understand the history behind it. So then that is one thing. Okay, anyone wants to add?
And the science also, like Big Bang theory and the
Yeah.
Darwin's theory of evolution.
Okay.
Yes. How we came from early man.
Yes. Yes. So these claims of science also we should understand how they have their own defects and all. Okay. Okay. Anyone last wants to add? Yes, Shazbi wants to add for second question.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Second, actually, in the second question, association also matter. If we associate with the atheist and so much kind of rational.
Yeah.
They call them rational, but they are not logical rationalists. So
Yeah.
if you are associated with the atheist and
Yeah.
so-called modern educational system people who said who proper purely believe in the Big Bang and so on,
Yeah.
so it will decrease our faith
Yes.
because
Yes.
association matter lots.
Yes, yes, correct. So yeah, we need to see what videos we are watching in social media and all. That is one thing. And another thing, there are some contradictions in Vedas also. Contradictions, if you see Mahabharata, so there are some controversies also. So these things we can, as and when possible, we can educate ourselves through devotees or through proper, traditional Vedic scholars on how to understand these controversies and contradictions. So that also will help us so that our faith in the Vedas remain safe. Okay, now we'll go to third question. Third
Hare
question.
Krishna.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes.
Regarding second point,
Hmm.
see, like what I interpret from this question is like if
Hmm.
we like we say that we have faith in Vedas and we find it everything is good for us. Then what is challenging us while we are going on this path?
Hmm.
So my point of view is like challenge comes when you are not able to relate it in your current life with
Very good. Very good point.
any happening.
Hmm.
And the best source with that is like back to Godhead when we read.
Yeah.
Then modern society, multiple examples we get
Yeah.
every month.
Yeah.
So whenever we are discussing, means it will enter in the third question also.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, bro. Very good. Very good. Yeah. That only that as that also inspires me to write to BTC also and to read. So
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. This is called Vedic Observer. Yeah. There is a column also called Vedic Observer.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we all bhaktas and all devotees, what we should do, whatever we are doing, and whatever good is happening or whatever bad is happening in
Yes.
societies,
Yes.
we should in a humble and right attitude way, we should try to present to the people that it
Yes.
is
Yes. Yes.
relevant to
Yes.
Vedic
Yes.
knowledge,
Yes. Yes,
and
bro.
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
that's
bro.
what it
Very correct.
Hare,
Very correct.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
is.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, I had one question regarding
Okay.
the second point.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned in the your point as
Mm.
of the Big
Mm.
Bang theory and Darwin theory.
Yeah.
So the people who are not aware of Krishna consciousness very easily believe in these two things. So my question was the scientists who came across this theory, did they take this knowledge from some source, or was it their mental speculation, or did they wanted to deny the existence of God, or were they atheists? Like we have source like Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam where we can understand that Krishna is the supreme Lord.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to understand that point.
Yeah. One thing is that Darwin has has got converted to atheism because of a particular incident. I'm not recollecting correctly. Mostly his daughter or granddaughter, somebody has died in a accidental way. So he thought how God can be so cruel or something. So that way he lost faith on Christianity and he converted to atheism. And after that he came up with this theory. One thing is these theories are based on speculation and also experiment, both Pratyaksha and Anuman Praman. Definitely, it's not based on Shabda Praman, especially Vedas or no, some religious texts. So that is one thing.
Now
But
Darwin says that man has come from means monkeys are evoluted into that is the thing. But now we see practically that it is not happening. But still, people believe. So
because main thing what is it? Science has improved their life. Science has improved their life. Science is very rational, and they don't know much about Vedas. So because of this fact, they tend to also believe whatever science says. That is the thing.
Prabhuji, at the same time, like our scriptures were destroyed and this knowledge distribution was stopped. That is the one major reason, like because people, if they don't have the exposure to Bhagavad Gita learnings, then of course they will believe the things whatever they are getting presented to them. We can take the examples of many of us, like in
Yeah,
childhood we didn't get, but when we got associated with ISKCON,
yeah,
then the distribution and prachar is making
yes.
us aware of these things, and because this taste is higher
Mm.
than whatever is available in the society, that's why people are
Yes, yes. Yes,
able
bro.
to. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have discussed quite. Also, we discussed a lot about third question also. So one point which you shared is no, that we should present the Vedas in a relevant way. And yes, I want only 2 points. If you have further things to discuss, we will discuss at the end of the class. Anyone wants to tell 1 or 2 points on third question?
Uh,
Okay, Shrikant Prabhu, can tell.
Suji, one way to introduce is making them understand defects of Pratyaksha and Anuman Praman.
Okay.
What are those defects? And then
Okay.
telling importance of Shabda Praman even in our day-to-day life.
Okay, okay,
And
good, good.
then sharing how certain examples of Vedas which have been proved correct.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, okay. This is one good point. And yeah, and the Sharad Pro, you want to say something?
Yes, so I also wanted to say similar things like we
Uh,
can educate them about the
mm,
things which are already proven by Vedas,
okay,
like
okay.
distance of Earth and Moon, embryology was already there.
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes. Okay. One last point is like also we can remove the we can try to find out the contradictions or popular things against Vedas. One thing is no caste system is discriminatory. We can show how it is not discriminatory, it is more scientific and it is more holistic and so there are some controversies which are generally about Vedas. Vedas are sentimental. You can show how Vedas are systematic, logical, and okay. So we will proceed next because we are running short of time, and then we will see. Okay, now we can see this. Okay, we can read. Now we'll read one more paragraph and then we'll close. Okay, I'll read because time is less. In our Krishna consciousness movement, we are accepting knowledge from the highest authority, Krishna. Krishna is accepted as the highest authority by all classes of men. I am speaking first of the two classes of transcendentalists. One class of transcendentalists is called impersonalistic Mayavadi. They are generally known as Vedantists led by Shankaracharya. And then there is another class of transcendentalists called Vaishnavas, like Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami. Both the Shankara Sampradaya and the Vaishnava Sampradaya have accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shankaracharya is supposed to be an impersonalist who preached impersonalism, impersonal Brahman. But it is a fact that he is a covered personalist. In his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, he wrote, Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is beyond this cosmic manifestation. And then again he confirmed that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, is Krishna. He has come as the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. He particularly mentioned the name of his father and mother. So Prabhupada is referring to these two quotes, Narayana Paravavyakta. So this is a statement by Shankaracharya. Means Narayana is transcendental and is unmanifested. We cannot see Narayana directly. And then this Shankaracharya writes in the Gita Mahatmya. Gita Mahatmya is composed by Shankaracharya, which is glorification of Gita. So in that he says, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantra Tasya Namani Yani, Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. So in this, Devaki Putra is repeated twice. This is again Shankaracharya only telling about Krishna. Yeah, here mainly now Prabhupada till now has focused on the Vedas. Now Prabhupada is coming to and how Vedas are the sole authority for transcendental subject matters. And now the Prabhupada is telling about how about Krishna means how Krishna is also Vedas also tell and how the acharyas, how the prominent acharyas also say like Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami and Ramanujacharya. Let's see. So Krishna is accepted as the supreme personality of Godhead by all transcendentalists. There is no doubt about it. Our source of knowledge in Krishna consciousness is the Bhagavad Gita, which comes directly from Krishna. We have published Bhagavad Gita as it is because we accept Krishna as he is speaking without any interpretation. That is Vedic knowledge. Since the Vedic knowledge is pure, we accept it. Whatever Krishna says, we accept. This is Krishna consciousness. That saves much time. If you accept the right authority or source of knowledge, then you save much time. For example, there are two systems of knowledge in the material world: inductive and deductive. From deductive, you accept that man is mortal. Your father says man is mortal. Your sister says man is mortal. Everyone says man is mortal. But you don't experiment. You accept it as a fact that man is mortal. If you want to research to find out whether man is mortal, you have to study each and every man. And you may come to think that there may be some man who is not dying because but you have not seen him yet. So in this way, your research will never be finished. In Sanskrit, this process is called aroha, the ascending process. And if you want to attain knowledge by any personal endeavor, by exercising your imperfect senses, you will never come to the right conclusion. That is not possible. Definitely, it's perfect conclusion. So this is Aroha Pantha, and the descending process is Avaroha Pantha. And especially with respect to spiritual subject matters, Aroha Pantha will never work. Now, yeah, maybe we'll discuss and then we'll have something. Then there is a statement in the Brahma Samhita: just ride on the aeroplane which runs at the speed of mind. Our material aeroplanes can run 2000 miles per hour. But what is the speed of mind? You're sitting at home. You immediately think of India, say 10,000 miles away, and at once it is in your home. Your mind has gone there. The mind speed is so swift. Therefore, it is stated, if you travel at this speed for millions of years, you will find that spiritual sky is unlimited. It is not possible even to approach it. Therefore, the Vedic injunction is that one must approach the word. Compulsory is used. A bona fide spiritual master, a guru. Prabhupada is mostly referring to Saguru Meva Abhigachet. Abhigachet means no, one should compulsorily approach. And what is the qualification of a spiritual master? He is one who has rightly heard the Vedic message from the right source. And he must practically be firmly established in Brahman. Samitpani Shrotriyam Brahma Karma Samashraya. Brahmani Upasamashraya. These are the two qualities he must have. Otherwise, he is not bona fide. Okay, you can maybe think for around 2 minutes. And then what are some practical benefits of approaching a guru other than reading directly scriptures? 2 minutes, and then we'll close for today. After this discussion, we'll close. Okay, so any new hands? Okay, Lekha Mataji can answer.
Prabhuji, the first and the most important thing is that the Vedas and the scriptures are very bewildering for a new person. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam also, there are so much glories that is given of Rudra Geet. And it is said that one who recites it daily can get this and this. On Tulsi Maharani itself, there are so many glories given. There are so many mantras given. So much scriptures are there. I think like this one life will be very short for reading all the four Vedas, 108 Upanishads, so many Puranas, so many Samhitas, so much. And then at last, we will be so bewildered that which mantra to chant, what to do with the daily ritual. So, there is we are very grateful. Like Srila Prabhupada has, lessened the scriptures, amount of scriptures for us. That we just need to read Srila Prabhupada books. We just need to chant 16 rounds. We just need to follow this morning program. So Guru simplifies the scriptures for you. And the
Yes.
second thing is that
Yeah, one point
whatever
is enough. Let us give chance to this. Okay, thank you. Okay, Amrita Mataji, you want to add something? Okay, yes, Mataji, you can tell.
Yes, we can understand better
Yeah.
via because the Guru is coming from parampara. He always understands whatever given in the scripture, and as what he received, he gives also. So we can understand properly.
Yes. Thank you. Yes, so 2 points. One is the Vedas are very vast, so we cannot understand. We cannot go through all of them. Not just Vedas, even our own devotional texts are also too many. So always Guru can understand what we need, and he can give us the thing what we need at a particular time. And Guru is trained and advanced, so he can teach us also properly. Okay, and yeah, any last point? Ishaya Mataji want to say something?
Yes, so Prabhuji, there was one thing like we might wrongly interpret something.
Yes, correct.
If there is a Guru, he can guide us properly.
Yes, correct. Very good. So one thing is we may commit some mistakes so that Guru can correct us, so that we will improve. We will improve our understanding of Vedas and the way we are understanding Vedas, both. So we can first learn from Guru on how to understand Vedas, and then we ourselves can also approach under his guidance. Okay, we'll take last point of Yash Prabhu. Okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Guruji. So actually, we are reading the Ishopanishad. The Upanishad means we have to go to some guru, and then we have to understand the meaning of the Vedas. So actually, the guru knows our understanding and whatever and which platform we are. So as per that platform or our understanding, he give the best, whatever good for us. If somebody, yes.
Good. Thank you.
Somebody,
yes, continue. Right.
Okay. So if somebody have a great understanding and has good understanding, so he will approach him like as per his understanding. If somebody have low understanding, so he will engage at that kind of in this way, so he can understand the same thing, but it takes time, and but in the easy way he will understand the same thing.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. So yeah, we can see this in Bhagavatam also, and even in Prabhupada's life also. If you see in Bhagavatam, if you see how Shukadeva Goswami explains to Parikshit Maharaj, devotional service is a little different than how Krishna explains to Arjuna, the devotional service is different. But because the context is different. Because the context, if you see, we can maybe contrast Krishna speaking to Arjuna and Krishna speaking to Uddhava. Krishna speaking to Arjuna is different because Krishna wants to make Arjuna, remind Arjuna of devotional service, and also to inspire Arjuna to to fight as devotional service, to fight the Kauravas as devotional service to Krishna. So the way Krishna approaches the theme is different. And if it's the same thing, Krishna speaking to Uddhava, Krishna actually wants to convey the message of devotion to renounced sages of Badrikashram through Uddhava. So the way Krishna explains the glories of devotional service is different. He explains Jnana Yoga more, not Karma Yoga, mainly emphasis on Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, and then he talks about also renunciation and many things, not acting in the world. So we can say that. And also Prabhupada also, when Prabhupada wants to explain Krishna consciousness to a businessman, so then Prabhupada used to explain in terms of balance sheet. So as you make your balance sheet at the end of life, also your balance sheet will be made. So that's why you should perform good works and the bad works previously you did, so that if you perform devotional service, you can overcome those effects. So that Prabhupada used to explain, and he used to explain that this property you are not born with this property. It is given by God, so you should use it in service of God. So then, if Prabhupada, what we can say, yeah. If it is with no, there is some instance where Prabhupada meets a sports car driver. So then he discusses about a lot about sports car and all. Then he gives that analogy of the driver, the car, our body is like car, and driver is the soul. So then Prabhupada explains about to him in that way. So yes, so it's okay. So benefits of Guru are, yeah, Vedas are large. So Guru gives us what we need, and Guru also can understand what exactly we need. So like a doctor, he can understand the exact dosage for the patient as per the severity of infection and use. So that, and the Guru can correct us if you are understanding the Vedas wrongly, or if you are applying the Vedas wrongly, Guru can correct us. And Guru himself, because he's coming from a parampara and is trained properly, he can explain the Vedas also without any defect. Okay. Okay, are there any questions on what we discussed till now in the Ishopnishad thing? Okay, so now I hope there are no questions. So yeah, so for the smooth running of the classes from tomorrow, so we need one batch coordinator for attendance and for starting the Zoom meeting. Till now, I was taking the help of the office, BVRE office. So anyone like to volunteer for this service? It's a very much needed service. Because now you're all confirmed that you will be attending at this timing these classes. So I want to know if anyone wants to volunteer for this service. It doesn't take much time, but yes, bro. So okay, bro, Shrikant, bro. So I'll talk to you after class. Thank you. So
Yes.
okay, we'll discuss after this. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Very
Okay.
well, sir.
Okay. Okay.
That was
Uh,
nice.
Thank you, Prabhu. Kind of enough.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Okay. 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 Yeah, you can thank. I have something more to tell. Just array. I will mute everyone. Okay. Okay. So yeah, some more things I have to share. Somebody still. Okay. All are muted. Yeah, some more things is as please take care that you, while joining the meeting, your name is as per what is written in the attendance. I will share the attendance sheet maybe by today night, so that you can also check whether your name is there in the attendance sheet and it is written properly. So those who are initiated name, or otherwise the legal name. With full, you can full name you can write. So make sure, otherwise it will not be possible, because the coordinator also has to attend the class, so he cannot check personally with through chat or something, who is you and something. If we find that the name is not matching with anything, then we cannot give attendance. So yeah, this is something. And let me just check. Yeah. So the BBRB, they have posted in the WhatsApp group the new handbook. Actually, the handbook which was shared earlier for 2 days before is an old version of the handbook. So please only use this new handbook, because the units are different and the questions are different, especially the questions for exam are different in the new handbook. So only please use the new handbook, and your exams will be based on this new handbook only. Okay. So this is something important. Please keep in mind. Don't use the old handbook, because those questions will not come in the exam. So this is one more thing. Okay. Anything else? You have any questions about the batch or something, or anything? Okay, so we will close for today, and tomorrow we'll continue after this question, the discussion. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Guruji,
Yes, yes.
this Word document which we are reading, that is not part of the handbook, right? Will
No,
this
no.
be shared?
This is my own notes. If you want, I will share with you maybe after something. After we cover something, I can share with you. This is the notes I basically imported from Vedabase the text into PDF, and I converted it to Word, and I add my own notes into that.
Yes, so if you can share, that will be helpful.
Yeah, I'll share after a significant portion is completed. I will share. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you, Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripasindhubhyo Krityam Vishnu.
Vishnu.